It can be pretty daunting to be overshadowed by a younger sibling in your life. We are sure Wolfe can relate quite a lot as he stars in History Channel's American Pickers, which was practically started from the ground up by his younger brother Mike Wolfe. Both brothers started their passion for antiques and everyday treasures young when they could spend the whole day digging through discarded and dilapidated stuff in landfills and junkyards. Rob emphasized those magical moments to give them the first insight into the stories the objects they found told. He gave an example of the time they climbed into a rusted-out pickup where they found a decade-old, yellowed, and worn-out newspaper that made them lost deep in thought. They couldn't stop pondering who the newspaper belonged to and how it got there, which became the foundation for the creation of American Pickers. They learned it by themselves instead of in any school or through other experts that every vintage object, whether or not a treasure, told a story. Despite the same beliefs in what they do, Mike was the first to shoot to fame alongside former co-host Frank Fritz after he helped launch the show. Rob was only first seen as a supporting cast member in the series, helping Mike and Frank when one of them couldn't make it somewhere. However, he's really stepped up in the recent few seasons since Fritz had a very controversial and public falling out with Mike and the rest of the show. Fritz was fired from the show in 2020, which he claims was done unjustly. It has led to many fans turning against the show, especially Mike and Rob, since Mike has a big say in such decisions of the show and Frank claimed he was grooming Rob to be his replacement. So, Rob has really been at the receiving end of a backlash for even thinking he can replace Frank. Fritz unfortunately suffered a stroke that left him severely physically incapacitated. Mike and Frank have reportedly reunited and buried the hatchet in 2022, but his health condition, regardless of other factors, will likely mean he will not be able to return to the show anytime soon. So, for better or worse, Rob will be with us, but being compared to Frank is nothing new for Rob, who's been compared to Mike his whole life. "My brother taught me well. Don't pay attention to any of that," Rob said about it to the Des Moines Register. "It's always gonna be there. You're always gonna have somebody out there that's gonna be a hater. Look at it this way, out of every 10 people, you might have one person that's a hater and 9 that love it. So don't focus on that one person. Focus on the good," he added. What many haters who think Rob is simply riding his younger brother's coattails don't know is that he has run an uber-successful landscaping business for over 35 years. And he did it all that while also picking on the side with as much success. If you follow personal achievements too, he's a father who's raised 5 grown-up kids despite being raised by a single mother himself. Unbeknownst to fans, he also dabbles in philanthropy and has an educational foundation called Bettendorf Americana that provides support scholarships for children in trade school. He started the foundation to help kids like him and his brother who could take a straight D kid understand they have value. Just because he didn't do well with a pen does not mean he won't surprise you if you put a wrench in his hand. His reason for doing the charitable act is if he could change a life like that, why wouldn't he?